I'd like to begin by once again recognizing the incredible work of our emergency personnel, the SPSA crews, municipal and volunteer fire departments, and all of those on the front lines. To each of these brave men and women, I would say, your courage and dedication in extraordinarily difficult conditions continues to protect Saskatchewan lives, homes, and communities. And we are incredibly grateful for the work that you are doing each and every day. Currently in Saskatchewan, we have 8 communities under evacuation, and many others have made the difficult decision to leave their homes as a precaution. We recognize how disruptive and stressful this is, and our priority continues to be supporting communities throughout this difficult period. To fight these fires, the SPSA has called on partners from across the province, but also from across Canada, the United States, and right around the world. As a result of the SPSA's mutual aid agreements, we've received firefighting supports from nearly every province and territory and from several American states, including Alaska, Colorado, and Washington. Last week, Quebec once again sent 2 aircraft and an additional 100 wildfire personnel. This week, we welcomed 40 firefighters from Australia, and we will welcome 40 additional firefighters from Mexico in the next few days. We are deeply grateful to the provinces, territories, states, and international partners who have shared their resources. Their support in this challenging wildfire season demonstrates the importance of our strong interjurisdictional partnerships and the critical role they have in protecting our communities. I would note that the SPSA is working closely with the National Park Service to manage the wildfire near the Prince Albert National Park. A joint incident management team is responding to the bullfire, and while the Waskesiu town site is not at immediate risk of fire, a voluntary evacuation has been issued in an abundance of caution. Also, the SPSA's recovery task team continues to work directly with affected communities to begin the process of clearing debris and to support the safe rebuilding of those communities. The recovery task team is working with Denair Beach leadership and their community members. Last week, the province announced a $20 million commitment to support recovery efforts, including debris removal, environmental testing, and project management in any community that has been devastated by wildfires. $1.8 million of this fund has now been advanced to the community of Denair Beach to support the recovery process, which again includes cleanup and debris management. We will continue to be there for affected communities in Saskatchewan every step of the way. Thank you, and with that, I will now turn things over to Steve Roberts for the fire update.
Thank you, Minister. So the fire situation in Saskatchewan today is 49 active fires, 372 fires so far this year. That is well above our 5-year average of 273. As a note, we are seeing new fires every day. Some of those are from lightning. Unfortunately, some of those continue to be caused by individuals who are not heeding the fire ban or doing activities without due care and attention. We have had to respond to fires that have been left behind by campers, by people active in the forest. So we urge people to take caution, adhere to the fire ban, and do not allow yourself to be a cause of another one of these wildfires. Quick summary of the fires to date. Shoe Fire is now reported at 75% contained. It still impacts Highway 912, so there is some closures and barriers in that place. The Pisu Fire is now 90% contained. No road closures related to that fire. Wolf Fire is now 90% contained. No road closures associated with that fire. The Bullfire, as mentioned by the Minister, not yet contained. It is impacting Highway 916. Ditch Fire, 75% contained. No highway closures due to this fire. And the Muskeg Fire, not yet contained. It is impacting Highway 165, Highway 918, and Highway 903 is also impacted by a fire in that complex called the Trail Fire that's caused a road closure in that location. We will say that we are bringing resources in, as mentioned, including from across Canada, across the continental US, and from our partners abroad. That is in addition to the 154 Type 3 firefighters that have been employed to assist us locally, and all of our crews that are provincially based that are dedicated to these wildfires at this time. Stephanie, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Steve. Now we will move to Marlo to provide an update on evacuations in the province. Marlo?
Thanks, Stephanie. Good afternoon, everyone. Just a quick update on the evacuations. As mentioned, we currently have 8 communities that are under evacuation orders, and I'll quickly read them out. We have the resort subdivision of Lac La Planche with 5 individuals that are at family and friends. We have the northern village of Beauval, which is approximately 700 individuals that are largely supported by SPSA Emergency Crisis Support, where some have also gone to family and friends. We have Lac La Planche First Nation, which is being supported by Meadow Lake Tribal Council. We have Pachinak English River First Nation, which is also evacuated by Meadow Lake Tribal Council. We have Jans Bay, which is supported by SPSA Emergency Crisis Support. Canoe Lake, Coal Bay, and Canoe Rivers, Canoe Narrows, is also supported by MLTC. And Montreal Cree Nation, their Priority 1 and Priority 2s were evacuated, and they are supported by SPSA, as well as the northern village of Pine House, which also has Priority 1s and Priority 2s that have evacuated. And just as a reminder, the Priority 1s and Priority 2 individuals are those that are elderly, have health conditions, or individuals that are pregnant, that just because of the smoke would cause some increased health risks. We also have the northern village of Isla Cross on evacuation of alert. And as the minister mentioned, the National Park Waskesiu has implemented a voluntary evacuation for the fire that is in the north part of the park. So overall, there are about 1,100 individuals evacuated in the province at this time. We also have a number of individuals from Manitoba that are in our province as well because of the fire situation in Manitoba. We continue to support those that are evacuated through food security checks and as well as the $500 that was announced by the government of Saskatchewan to minimize the impacts for those that are returning from evacuation. So when they return, we will ensure that they get the $500 to help offset the impacts of the evacuation that has caused on for restocking food or cleaning or other items. So with that, I will turn it back over to you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Marlo. We'll now open it up to questions. As a reminder, 1 question, and please provide your outlet. Up first, Jeffrey.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Tram with CBC News Saskatchewan. My question is, can you expand more on how the connections with the Australian and Mexican firefighters came to be, what their role is in the fight, where they'll be staying, and if there are any countries that might get involved in the future?
So over the last number of years, Canada has been involved in building partnerships with some of our countries that are outside the North America, for instance. So Canada has entered into agreements with Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Chile, Costa Rica, Mexico as examples. And in need, should Canadian resources be maximized and as well as US resources, we can call upon those individuals, especially because their fire season is a different season than ours. So this is their lower period and they often can provide some assistance. But as always, we will go to the closest resource first. So we will use Saskatchewan resources. We will then use Canadian resources. Then we'll be looking at our near neighbor partners in the US. And then if we have to go farther, we will. Whatever is required to bring in qualified individuals to work on these fires and get them in containment mode.
Thank you, Steve. Up next, Maria. She put her question in the chat. We've talked with people in Waskesiu who think the pre-evacuation alert was an overreaction. What should people in the community be doing right now, especially locals who don't think it's as serious?
So Parks Canada is the jurisdiction of authority, and preemptively, they issued an alert. And what it advised is if you didn't have to be there, you should consider leaving and not come to the park if you didn't need to, because for sure there would be some smoke concerns. No direct fire threat imminent at this time, but for those that are there, recognize that should things change of events and the fire get larger, smoke become a problem, as long as they're prepared to leave when suitable, or should the parks actually change that to an order.
Thank you, Steve. I see we have another question in the chat from Arjun from the Daily Herald. My question is, have there been any injuries among firefighters or residents so far this season?
Our number one priority in this agency is protecting human life, and we are pleased to report that we have had no fatalities and no serious injuries during our fire season, even considering the vast number of people who are actually involved in the efforts. So that is a good news story as far as us being able to continue to do what we do while keeping people safe.
Thank you, Steve. Up next, Chris.
Yeah, Chris Vanderbrekel with Global News in Saskatoon. Not sure who best is to answer this question, but the NDP MLA for Athabasca was speaking earlier today, saying that he's hearing from local leaders in the Beauval area about a lack of firefighting supplies, saying that his constituents are borrowing equipment from local agencies and their neighbors to help fight the fires. Is there truth to this? Like, are there more assets that can be applied to these fires in the Beauval area, or what is the situation there?
So the Public Safety Agency has brought numerous resources of different level and caliber and the staffing to deliver those to Beauval and Beauval area. Without a doubt, there's probably local residents that wish to further assist who would not have local resources, and that would be resources that would be made available to them through the local municipality. So for instance, they already have a fire department, but if people wanted to add to that, how much equipment they have, I can't verify, but all the equipment that's required to support the Public Safety Agency and its partners, we are bringing into the community to do what we need to do.
Thank you, Steve. I don't see any more. Oh, Chris, follow up.
Thanks. Yeah. So with the fires in the Beauval area, we did see that one sweep through where it brushed the community, but it was largely fended off. How much of a danger is there with the fires still in the area of it coming back into Beauval and posing a threat again?
So the fire did indeed go around the community, but our resources remain in the community. They continue to work on those perimeter edges and continue to monitor the community for any spotting fire. There are a couple other fires in the area that are part of that complex that we are actively working on as well to ensure that they don't pose further problem either to Beauval or any of the other neighboring communities. So work continues in that area. So it's not over because the fire was able to safely steer around Beauval. It's still ongoing. It's an active fire, and we will have resources there to protect the community as long as that's required.
Thanks, Steve. Maria? Her question is, are any of the new fires that were started by people criminal in nature?
All we've determined is that they are human-caused starts. They are not lightning-caused starts. And of course, they will be investigated by our investigative team for further information on the details to the human-caused starts.
Thanks, Steve. Chris?
In regards to financial supports for this newer batch of evacuees, What is the progress as far as getting financial supports to them? Because we're again hearing from the NDP that they're talking to folks who are saying that they are struggling to access those financial supports during this newest evacuation.
Thanks for that question, Chris. I can say that the 533 individuals that have been evacuated, or 538 evacuated from Beauval, are currently being supported in hotels. So, of course, their financial needs and food and shelter are being looked after. The other, approximately 150 individuals, there has been 50 that have received checks. All of those individuals have been contacted to ensure that they are safe, staying with family and friends, and those financial food security checks are being processed based on a priority system and basically triaged based on need. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Chris, the $500 is really designed for the return of the evacuees to the community to help offset those unanticipated costs from being away from a home over a number of days or weeks, and the requirement to replenish some of the food and issues that could go along while they're out of the house for that length of period of time. So right now, I can say that all of the food security checks are in process, and we will continue to work at that as fast as we can.
Thank you, Marlo. Jeffrey?
How many local fire departments are currently involved in Beauval?
Sorry, I do not have the exact number, but I'm just going to look through the notes now and see what I have. Actually, I do not have an exact number. I believe that multiple volunteer fire departments were engaged and sent to Beauval and Beauval area. So it's not just one, it's multiple fire departments that are currently there and staged. And should they need more or need replacement, those will be addressed through our normal process for getting more resources to those scenes.
Thanks, Steve. Do a final call out for questions. Okay, given how many international crews have been brought in, why isn't Saskatchewan investing more in training local personnel for wildfire response, not just career firefighters, but community members? Could this be part of building long-term local capacity for future fire seasons?
So that is part of the Public Safety Agency's long-term plans. We have actually trained thousands of local community members to assist us. We have at this time only been able to recruit 154 of those to actually provide that assistance to us. So the training program and awareness programs are well underway, but we are not necessarily seeing that as a barrier. The training is not the barrier. It's getting individuals to come forward, identify themselves, and be hired to assist in the efforts.
Thank you, Steve. I don't see any further questions. So with that, that will conclude today's media availability. Have a safe rest of your day, everyone.